Okay, 8:53, everybody. Renovation that unfolds on the new Max series Breaking New Ground is not your typical transformation. Take a look.
The 1830s and 40s and 50s, when he's producing these textiles here on the river, that is a key part of the slave economy that fuels this nation at that time.
About 200 years later, I bought it for $379,000 cash. I posted about it and it went viral.
I said, Robert, I don't know what you did, but this story here, I have never seen the numbers just move.
The reaction to the post pushed me to learn everything about this home's past, and that has inspired me to dig even deeper into my own family history.
I love that. And the man behind this grand restoration is Broadway performer and entrepreneur Robert Hartwell, who is with us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Hazel and Dan.
So great to have you here.
Thank you.
This is the house.
This is the house.
The one you bought, the one that went viral. What inspired you to buy this house?
Well, it was the middle of the pandemic, and I think all of us just had to listen to our guts, right? Especially as a black man in America that was dealing with the murder of George Floyd. And I see this white home and then see this opportunity to then share this story of renovating it in a 6-episode series, and I just had to say yes.
And you bought it on Juneteenth.
On Juneteenth.
Let's talk about the post for a second, right?
Yeah.
For those who aren't familiar with what exactly you said in that post and why it went viral.
So essentially, I thought that I was just sharing it with my friends and my family. I did not wake up and say, I want to go viral today, but it was to give people hope and to tell people that even in our darkest moments, that there is so much light and there's still good stuff happening even when we are experiencing such collective sadness.
Yeah, what was your reaction, though, to getting all of that response?
Honestly, I was shook. I was so shook. But I knew at the same time that, oh, this is an assignment that is much bigger than me.
Yeah.
And so that really helped me just move past the fear of, oh, wow, I feel very exposed right now.
Seems daunting, though.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know what's amazing, though? When you are least expecting to go viral, and it's those are the posts that go viral. The people who are trying too hard sometimes because it's so authentic and it's so real. So let's talk about the journey for you and the house, right? Because it was quite the journey after you bought it.
Yeah.
And it was a little daunting to you even saying at one point, I think I bit off more than I could chew.
Well, it was about a 4-year process.
Wow.
But what was amazing is because we got to capture it for this series on Max, you just have support. And I also feel that if it weren't being captured, I would have probably put it on pause because I was still living here in New York City. I had my business here in the city, but I felt like people were counting on me, and I felt like people really needed the story that was beyond a renovation story, but an internal transformation story. And so for that, I was like, you don't actually get the opportunity to stop. You have to keep going.
It must have been scary, though, at some point.
Well, as a single person, absolutely, because there's not a partner to say, hey, what do you think about, it's really you making all of the decisions, but not just all of the decisions as you see on the show, episode after episode after episode. There are just change orders after change orders after change orders, which just means more money. So it was quite the learning process, but I hope that people see one, resiliency, but then also, hey, we always get over the finish line.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, I think that the benefit sometimes of being single is you don't have to worry about the other person's opinion.
Correct.
Because that's how I am in my house. I'm like, okay, I get to make the decisions here.
Yes.
Let's talk about what you learned about the house that you didn't know when you first bought it.
So I didn't realize the connection of my family being enslaved in Virginia in the 1820s to the cotton textiles that were being fueled through the North. So the family that owned my home, that built this home, were textile producers. So yes, they're running the mills up in Massachusetts, but it is the slave economy that is actually bringing the material up to the North. So it is truly out of this world that I now get to live in this home although my family is down in the South and I'm now in the North, it's just It's quite a story of migration, but also how we always get over.
And before we let you go, you're not working alone anymore. You're working with the Property Brothers, the famous Property Brothers. Talk about
Yes.
that collab.
So what was so amazing is when the post went viral, my best friend Rachel Rogers, who was recently here with you all, she said, "You've always wanted to host a TV show." And so we were able to collaborate with the Oprah Winfrey Network,
Yeah.
HGTV, and the Property Brothers, Scott's Brothers Entertainment.
That's amazing.
I can't wait to watch it.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank you.
on the show and everything you're doing. It's all super impressive, and you can watch Breaking New Ground streaming on Max right now.
Yes, every Thursday.
Every
Awesome.
Thursday. There we go. I got my viewing for this Thursday. Great to have you here.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.